Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be doing some shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin because in today's video, even though Bitcoin is pulling back just a little bit, we are actually possibly setting up for a very bullish pattern, that being yet another green-red-green formation, the likes of which that we saw in the last couple of days. Guys, Bitcoin has pulling back just below the 50 daily simple moving average, and guys, I want to show you why that actually may end up being a very bullish thing for Bitcoin depending on where this daily candlestick closes. Bitcoin is in a very important decision point right now, and if it makes the right decision, we could be very quickly off to the races, guys. As I've talked about, there are three major levels of resistance that Bitcoin needs to break, and so far, Bitcoin has more or less broken two of them, which could be a very good thing should Bitcoin make the right couple of decisions here in the next couple of days. So, guys, I think this is a very important time to be paying attention to the technical landscape on Bitcoin, so I'm going to be catching you up in today's video. If you do enjoy today's video, consider watching until the end because I have a treat for you at that end. And also make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. It helps out the channel. Let's see if we can get to 1,200 likes today. We've been trying for the past couple of days. We've gotten damn close, but we didn't actually get there. I think we can do it, so hit that like button. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Gosh, I love coffee. This is your pre-technical analysis warning. Go get your pre-workout, your pre-technical analysis, because you're going to need some coffee for this TA that we're about to do. This is going to be pretty intense. Make sure you go get your Thank you. All right, let's go. Guys, as I said, the last couple of days have been very bullish for Bitcoin. In fact, as we've seen, there are three major levels of resistance that Bitcoin needs to break. So far, we have broken two of them. The first level of resistance that we got through back on the 6th was actually the 20 daily EMA. From there, Bitcoin had to break the 50 daily SMA. We did break that. And then from there, we need to set a higher high above $9,800. That one's a little bit further off into the future. We haven't done it yet, but so far, we have most certainly broken the 20D EMA. In fact, we're trading pretty far away from it now. And depending on how this daily candlestick closes, we may be getting some strong support at the 50 daily SMA as well. And that's really the point of today's video, is where Bitcoin heads in the next 48 hours, because it's going to set the precedent. It's going to lay the foundation for where Bitcoin could be heading over the next couple of weeks. We need the next 48 hours to go well. If they do, we could very easily be entering a rally that could result in a bull market, because we're very close to important resistance. If it's broken, we're off to the races. Guys, Bitcoin is sitting, as you can see, just below the 50 daily simple moving average at the time of recording this video, but it's only $10 below. All Bitcoin has to do is maintain a price level above $9,350, because even $20 below the 50D SMA on a time frame like this, we could consider as support. If Bitcoin does that, we're going to look fine. Good example of what I'm talking about is right here. Bitcoin held the 20D EMA. Bitcoin now, let's hold the 50 daily SMA. If we can do that, we are going to be looking good, and I think we're going to do that, but we do have some caveats to that we'll get to later, because we want to show both sides of the story and not just make you FOMO and not just make you freak out and buy all Bitcoin and like sell your house, buy Bitcoin. I'm not really into the whole getting you overly hyped, but I do want to bring you some level-headed technical analysis, but we're going to get to the bearish side here in a second. Remember, guys, I'm going to run through the indicators very briefly for anyone who didn't see yesterday's video, but we talked about that more yesterday. If you'd like to see that video, go back to yesterday's video. We talked about how the MACD is bullish, and that is a very good sign, because the last time that we saw a proper bullish cross on MACD was in the middle of March. That resulted in a massive rally. As you can see, we crossed around the 18th or the 20th of March. From there, we rallied at maximum 97%. There is very, very strong historical precedent for Bitcoin rallying in result of a daily chart MACD cross. By the way, this is really cool, and this is what I'm talking about. At the time of recording this video, Bitcoin right now has just rallied at about $10 and is sitting at the 50 daily SMA. That's why I'm saying that if Bitcoin's $20, $30 below it right now, that's not the end of the world, because we're still pretty close, and the daily chart candle body is not going to close for another exactly 10.5 hours at the time of recording this. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the future. Where is Bitcoin heading now? Well, obviously, there are two scenarios. There's the bullish and the bearish, so let's look at both of them. First of all, the bullish scenario. What I am hoping that Bitcoin is doing and what I'm leaning in the direction of Bitcoin doing is holding the 50 daily SMA over the next 2 days, putting in a bounce and having another green engulfing candlestick. I think we're going to see something like this. I think we're about to see some kind of candlestick like this green candlestick that you can see here, whatever color that is. I'm colorblind. It looks close enough to me. I think we're going to see some kind of candlestick like this form in the next couple of days, if and only if Bitcoin can hold that 50 daily SMA. If we break below that, of course, that's a different story, but I think we're going to hold it. Bitcoin has had some built-up bullish tension for the last couple of months. I've been saying that consistently, and I think we just need to release it. Now, if Bitcoin is able to maintain support and not fall to the downside, not give the bears their way right now, then I think we're going to be good. But the fact of the matter, this is what you need to pay attention to, is that the 50 daily SMA needs to hold. If, however, it doesn't, this is what will happen. If we do fall below the 50 daily SMA and we close a daily candlestick down here at like 93.20, then we're going to go down here, we're going to test the 20 DMA. And pretty much everything I said is going to happen in the reverse. We would have then the potential for setting up a red, green, red bearish candlestick formation and Bitcoin potentially breaking the 20 DMA and heading to the downside. That is the concern right there, but that I don't think is more likely. So now that we understand how the bullish scenario would play out, how the bearish scenario would play out, and which one's more likely based on the technical analysis, the bullish scenario is more likely. Now that we understand those three things, we can have a trade set up. So let's go ahead and do that. If you remember to yesterday's video, we set up a trade, and this is going to be a very similar one. In that video, I said you were probably going to want to enter your position just below $9,400. Caveat, important warning, disclaimer, like whatever you need me to say. This is not financial advice. I am not your trading guru. Do not just make this trade because I am pointing it out. I am simply giving you an example of a trade so you can see how you might go about setting up the trade. I'm not telling you to make this trade. If you want to, that's up to you. I'm using this as an example. So with that said, let's go ahead. I would personally look at trading this market with an entry position close to where we are right now. Like I said, we talked about a very similar trade yesterday. Now that we have more data, we can adjust how we would set everything up. For example, with our stop loss, you would want your stop loss to be below the lowest point of the current candle wick. As we can see, the lowest point of the current candle wick is around $9,319. So we would want the lowest part of our trade, the stop loss, to be sitting just a hair above 9,300. Maybe something like 9,305. If you want to have an even more conservative stop loss, you could have it all the way down here on the 20 DMA, but that throws in some other strangeness with the potential of Bitcoin bouncing off the 20 DMA. If you want to be really safe and you really don't want to close the position, you can put it all the way down here at like 92.50. It's really going to depend on your own temperament and your own mentality. Again, entry position is going to be just under $9,400. Anywhere between 93.60 and 9,400 is going to be pretty decent for this kind of trade. And then you're going to want to have your target up here above $9,500 because I think that's where we're heading. We have important resistance up here around $9,800, but remember guys, on the longer term chart, we have a downtrending level of resistance right here. And that downtrend, depending on how you draw it, goes back almost 3 entire years. What that means is that this trade is a short-term trade, but could very, very easily turn into a much longer-term trade. So be very careful about closing this position too quickly, because if Bitcoin rallies at like $9,800, that's the third thing that I've said we need to do. If Bitcoin does that, depending on what chart you're looking at, that might be a break of the long-term downtrend of resistance. And if that happens, well, you know, $10,000 is probably going to be a drop in the bucket of what's actually going to happen if we break that level. So keep in mind, you might not want to exit your entire position on a trade like this right away. You might want to let some of it ride. Just something to think about. By the way, guys, a trade like this has a target and a profit of maybe around 4%. I'd put this up here around $9,500 to $9,800, taking profit as you go, kind of laddering into that. That's going to give you a pretty strong risk to reward ratio. I would personally put my stop loss even closer because I like getting out of bad trades like that so I can redeploy money. The way that I would set this trade up personally would give me an even higher risk to reward ratio. And remember, guys, you will make more money if you use leverage, but leverage is a very dangerous thing. I always recommend that if you haven't been in the market for at least 18 months, like, come on, don't be leverage trading. Be very careful with leverage trading. Very, very easy to get liquidated. I'm not recommending you do it with no experience, but you will make more money if you have proven yourself to be a profitable trader with no leverage. If you do want to leverage trade, with all of that said, I'm serious about that, guys, not joking. You can use our Bybit referral link down below to leverage trade. That's where I do it. If you're in the US, you can use NordVPN as a VPN to be able to access Bybit. If you want to do that, that does help the channel, but I'm not kidding, guys. If you're a noob to the space and you just got here, don't use that link. I only have that link because I know some of you are going to use Bybit, and if you want to help to support the channel, you can, but don't get hurt. It's very, very easy. Be very careful. Paper trade always first. Anyway, with that said, that's how I would set up this trade. You can set it up a billion different ways. You don't have to set it up exactly the way in this video. In fact, I encourage you not to set it up the way I did exactly in this video, because that means you're not thinking. That means you're copying, and I don't want you copying me because that means you're not thinking. So guys, that's my technical analysis. If Bitcoin starts to break below the 50D SMA, then that is a bearish signal and we are going to be heading to the downside. If, however, Bitcoin closes the daily candlestick, opens the next one and rallies above the current top of the red candlestick, then that is going to be an extremely bullish thing, and that of the two scenarios is the one I think is more likely. If that happens, that would be a great signal to start getting into a trade. Very simple technical analysis, guys. It's really not hard. Bitcoin is in a very clear, defined trend for this week. We have higher highs and higher lows, and if that continues, then we can expect to have profit in trades that we make in accordance with that trend. Remember, the top of this red candlestick is right here, sitting at 94.34. If we get above that, then that means Bitcoin is setting a higher high on the daily chart, which locks in even more the shorter-term trend. I'm looking for a green candlestick tomorrow, and I'm looking for that green candlestick for tomorrow's candle body to close above $9,435. That's what you want to be looking out for. Anyway, guys, that is going to be a wrap for this video. I have a ton of stuff to do today. I'm working with a graphic designer on the logo from McAfee Media, the holding company that owns this channel. By the way, just so you think I'm not a sellout or anything, that's like my company. I didn't sell the YouTube channel to anyone. That's my company. Good. I've got some stuff to do at the least. I've got a bunch of crap to do, guys. I have a busy day, and I'm looking forward to it because at the end of the day, everything that I'm doing is working towards bringing you guys higher quality content. We have a lot of work. We have a lot of investment going into payroll, rent, cameras, design. We have some clients that we're working with now. We have a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and at the end of the day, every single thing that we do, every single thing that we're working on is designed to bring you guys higher quality content, and I could not be happier to say that. I'm really looking forward to not only what 2020 holds, but what the entire decade of the 20s holds for this channel and for this company and for the ability for us to fulfill our mission statement, which is to grow you intellectually and financially so that you can provide for yourself and for others. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's technical analysis. I hope you have a blessed day. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's see if we can get to 1,200 likes today. I think we can do it. I don't think we can do it. I know we can do it, so let's go ahead and do that. But guys, that is going to wrap it for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.